Hello YouTube, back with another video, but before we head out, I gotta put some air on this tire. I need to bring it into a tire shop and see what the issue is. It's been like this for a few weeks and I've honestly just been too lazy to take it somewhere, so I've just been refilling the tire with some air before I head out. And I don't have an electrical pump, so I gotta resort to this. I think the PSI for the back tire is somewhere around, I think 30, let me check, 33. All right, this might take a while. All done. I'm a little out of breath, that took a while. Okay. It's a beautiful day here in Washington. It's the beautiful thing about Washington, I feel like we have the best summers. It's about 75 to 80 degrees for pretty much the month of June, July, August, maybe even September. So gotta love that. The rest of the year, it's a little cloudy, a little bit of rain, but overall, the temperature stayed pretty mild, which I'm pretty happy about that, which I think is way better than when I lived back in the East Coast. So for this video, I just kind of wanted to talk about some of my pet peeves that I have with the Prius. It's not many. I couldn't even think of how many I had in mind, but I can think of three. So three things that I particularly am not a big fan of with this car. Number one, for me, I think it would be the comfort of the car. I personally don't think that this car is the most comfortable car. I mean, it is a budget car, but that's not to say that all budget cars are uncomfortable. But this car specifically, I don't know if it's because it's a little older or if it's because of the material. It's not the leather, it's the cloth. The car's not the most comfortable, especially here. The armrest, it's a little rigid. It is covered in the cloth, but I don't think it's extremely comfortable. Resting your arm there for 20 to 30 minutes at a time. Also, the armrest over on the left, it's not very padded. Maybe when the car was new, it was padded, but that padding is essentially gone. The seats are okay. I'd give the seats maybe like a 5 or 6 out of 10. They're comfortable enough to have like a maybe 45 to a 1 hour commute, but I think once you get over that, it starts to get a little uncomfortable. You kind of get a little fidgety. My commute is only about half an hour and it's not ideal. It's not extremely uncomfortable, but it is one thing that I wish the car was a little better at. Especially because I think that these cars, because they're so good on gas, they're specifically geared towards commuters. You know, people who have long commutes who want to save gas. But if I had like a 2 or 3 hour commute, I'd be a little hesitant to continue driving this car for a super long commute. I also think that this car is not meant for big or fat people. I'm not trying to offend anyone, but if you're a heavy-set person, or if you're extremely tall or wide or whatever it is, just if you're bigger than the average person, I don't even know what average is, but you get what I mean. If you're a little bigger, this car is not gonna be the most comfortable. It's kind of narrow. The seat goes back enough for me. I'm 5'10", 5'11", so I have plenty of leg room. So the armrests are not the most comfortable. The seats are decent, but not the most comfortable. It's definitely something to think about for those out there who are considering getting a second generation Prius. Try to sit in it, see how it feels, and try to just envision to see if you had to sit on this seat for a long commute, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, if it would be uncomfortable. Pet peeve number 2.
Hi, thank you for choosing Starbucks. How are you?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good. What are we getting for you?
Okay, so pet peeve number 2, and this is honestly a small one, and I don't think it's something that should even be on the list, but the engine, the power you get from the engine, it's not very significant. Obviously, it's enough to get you from A to B. It's enough to get you on the highway. You can easily do 50, 60, 70 miles per hour, but when you hit the gas on the highway, and you're trying to get to that speed limit of 60, 65 or whatever it is, it kind of feels like the car is giving it all it's got. And it's a little unsettling, to be honest. That might just be how it is with hybrid cars. Almost makes me feel as if the car is just gonna give out and not be able to reach that speed limit.
There you are.
Have a good day.
Wonderful day.
Or it might just be because of the noise that the hybrid engine makes when it kicks in. But once it reaches that speed and you're kind of at a steady pace, it's okay. I think it's just the revving up, or kind of just like the acceleration on this car. Once you really hit it, it's honestly not the best in my opinion. But of course, it does the job. It gets the job done. I've never had an issue where it stalled on me or blew up or just didn't make it. This is delicious. Probably not the most healthiest thing, but it's just really good. And now for the third thing that I want to sort of complain about, third and final thing, when you put this car into reverse, the beeping that it makes is the most annoying thing you'll ever hear. It's just annoying. I'm sure there's got to be a way to take it off if you go in through the system or hook up a computer to it, and I wish that I could. I just want to let you guys hear how annoying that is. Look at that. What am I, a semi truck backing up? You know, it's super annoying. The good thing is that it's only on the inside. You cannot hear it on the outside, and I guess that's somewhat of a good thing, because for the most part I would be almost embarrassed if people on the outside would be able to hear it. I'm almost wondering if it would be better if it was on the outside, because this car, when you're pulling out of a parking lot or a parking space, it's so quiet that the people around you probably won't hear the car. It's extremely quiet, which is nice, don't get me wrong, but it can be a little dangerous if you're backing up and someone behind you is walking or moving and they don't hear the car moving back, unlike any other regular car. And yeah, don't get me wrong, it's a very minor thing. It shouldn't even be something to complain about. Just hearing that beeping noise drives me a little bit crazy. But yeah, if I had to guess as to why Toyota did that, I'm assuming it's because shifting this lever from drive into reverse, it can be done so easily, because this little shifter here is very sensitive. It's not a normal shifter. It's all pretty much electronic. There's no mechanics to it. You kind of just like slightly move it in the direction you want it to. It's kind of weird. If you own a Prius, you know exactly what I mean. If you don't, just know that it's not the manliest or strongest shifter out there. It's almost like a joystick on a controller. And yeah, that's about it. Those three things I would say are my pet peeves. The comfort of the seats and the armrest, the engine not feeling very powerful when you accelerate it, and that little beeping noise. Super annoying. But that's gonna do it for me. Thank you guys so much for watching. I do appreciate that. You guys enjoy the rest of your day, and peace out.